Okay, so good morning, Janet. Janet Martin from Club Med. It says that Facebook Live is preparing. So that's something new. I haven't seen that before, where it actually says preparing. But I think we'll jump right into this and we'll talk about the awesome product that is Club Med.
Yes, and thank you so much for having me on today.
Oh, I'm so happy you could join me. And I do hope we're live on Facebook because I'm not seeing it.
You can check on the refresh on your other screen.
Yeah. Anyway, so what we've got here is we're gonna take a glimpse at Club Med. We're going to see all that it has to offer. And they're much more than just a beach product, as you will see. They're just about everywhere?
Everywhere, all over. We have like 70 resorts worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of other all-inclusives are just in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
But we're everywhere, and every single one of them is all-inclusive. And we've been around we just had our 70th birthday.
That's amazing.
We've had many years to establish ourselves around the world, and in many cases, we were the pioneer in most areas too. We were the first real all-inclusive, actually.
Mm-hmm. So you've perfected it.
We have, yep.
And so in a summary, this is just a very high level overview. You offer a lot.
A ton. We're very well known for a few specific things, and one of those things is our sports and activities. So there's over 60 between all the different resorts that are included. Each one comes with quality supervision from our GOs, which are our staff, our great organizers. So they're all trained in different disciplines, and you get free lessons and everything too. So normally when you go to an all-inclusive, if you want to sign out a kayak or something, you're kind of on your own. And usually you have to wait because there's only 2 or 3 kayaks. But we have like state-of-the-art equipment. If we have kayaks, we have a fleet of kayaks, and there's always somebody there to give you a lesson if you need it as well.
That's wonderful. And a little overview, what is included, and a lot is.
There's a ton included. You're going to find your normal things that you expect to be included at an all-inclusive. So when you buy a package, you're getting, we're a tour operator actually, which a lot of people don't realize. So we can actually package with flights. We package using regular scheduled air. So whatever airline you'd like to fly on, whatever time of day, whatever day of the week. So you're not stuck to, some of the other tour operators will do 7-day trips, and you're stuck taking the flight at this time on this day and at this time home on this day. With us, you can choose. It's very flexible. So we can package. So you're going to get your flight, your transfer, your hotel, your food and beverage, your activities. There's kids clubs included. Entertainment, even in the ski product, the ski lift passes and the ski lessons are included as well.
That is an incredible savings.
Yeah.
Yes. And then a la carte, you have some additions that you can look at.
Yeah. Like spa and excursions and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And here we go. It's a great family product. As you can see, you've got a Club Med product for each age group leading up to 17.
Yeah.
So there's something for everyone. While some resorts might be adult only, many are family friendly.
We actually only have 2 adults only properties left, but we do have a lot of family properties that have adults only spaces in it as well. And the kids clubs, it's one of those things that we're really well known for too. I took a group of travel agents down in December last year to Cancun on a family fam, and they brought their children, and it was amazing to see them in the kids clubs. They only had to go into the kids clubs for 1.5 day while the parents were in a training, but they didn't leave. They wanted to keep going back because there's so many activities and it's so much fun for them. A lot of places, they're just kind of sitting around eating chicken nuggets or coloring, but they were doing trapeze, they were doing windsurfing, they got to try everything. So it's really, the kids clubs are really great.
It sounds it. And also over here, we see the 3 and the 4 Trident as opposed to the exclusive collection. And for those that may not be familiar with Club Med, if you want to just go over what the Trident is.
Sure. So the trident is basically our internal lingo for our star system. So we have 3, 4, and 5 tridents. Recently, last year, we renamed the 5 trident our exclusive collection. So it's the more luxury part of our brand. So you can see there the differences between the two. So the 4 is like our core range, and then the exclusive collection is the more luxury part. And there's some extras included in that. And then we have different products with the 5 Trident exclusive collection. So we have full resorts that are exclusive collection. We also have some resorts that are a 4 Trident resort, but it has a 5 Trident section. So for your more luxury type travelers that like some exclusivity, those would have a section that's just for the exclusive collection guests. So nobody else from the resort can come into that area. We also have villas and chalets from 2 to 4 bedroom apartments at some of the properties as well, for larger families or small groups, which are part of the exclusive collection. And then our Club Med 2 cruise ship is also part of our exclusive collection.
Okay, and then also there's the membership fees that you pay once. They're good for a year from the time of your booking.
And a lot of people have questions about this. Why is there a membership fee? What's included in it? You can see here the cost of it. Basically, as Lisa was saying, you pay it once when you book, and it's good for 1 year past the time that you book. So for those that go on maybe 2 or 3 Club Med vacations a year, it's good for that year. And we have a loyalty program for our guests called the Great Members Program. And inside that program, there are 4 different levels that you can reach. And you earn points when you book a trip, when you purchase things in the gift shop or at the spa. You earn points towards that loyalty membership, and it brings you up to different levels that have different benefits. So this membership fee actually helps supplement the cost of that benefits program. Plus, it includes a basic insurance as well. The other great thing about it is it really is a club. If you've been to another all-inclusive during a holiday season, let's say Semana Santa, which is Easter, Dominican, Mexico, you'll find that a lot of locals, because it's their holiday time, come into the resorts. They on day passes. And it can get very overcrowded at some of the resorts with all these people coming in on day passes. So with our property, we do offer the day passes as well, but the day pass does not include the membership fee, which means the people coming in on the day pass don't actually have access to all the activities and all that the resort has to offer. So we don't sell as many day passes. So we won't be overrun during holiday because of this membership fee, which is another perk of having that in place.
Okay. Oh, here's a peek at some of the resorts that are and will be opening soon in the Caribbean.
So these are all existing resorts that obviously were closed due to COVID.
Right.
And we are slowly reopening everything. It takes time. I know that you'll see on the dates on some of these that some of those islands might already be open or opening soon, but our resort is not opening at the same time as the island. And that's because it takes time. It takes time for us to get all our staff back in. Our staff come from all over the world. It takes time to get our staff back in, get everything supplied again. And we want to make sure that all our health and safety measures are properly in place before we reopen. So you can see there all the dates for reopening for all of our North American properties. So
right.
Mexico and US.
And this is one of the things that you're taking very, very seriously, and your staff is going through quite a lot of training on the hygiene.
Yes, the safety and hygiene measures are very important to us. We've actually contracted a company called Crystal out of Europe, which is they're kind of they're helping keep us accountable for these safety guidelines. They're doing tests on site before we open the property to make sure that everything's up to par with all the safety measures. So staff are going to be wearing protective face coverings. There's going to be extra sanitization stations all around, especially in high traffic areas like elevators and that sort of thing. They'll be taking temperatures, but it's very discreet. One of my coworkers was just at the Florida property on his vacation, I think about a month ago. All these safety measures are in place. He took pictures, he called me, he told me how everything was. It's very discreet. So there is a nurse at breakfast taking temperatures, but they've got one of the guns that they'll just discreetly point at everyone coming through. Everyone has to use hand sanitizer as they come into the restaurants as well. We've had a lot of questions about our buffets. one of the health and safety measures in place at our buffet is that it's no longer a self-serve buffet. It's still kind of a buffet setting, but we have different stations. We've always had it like that, so it was easy for us to switch things up. Different stations for all the different types of food, pasta, bread, desserts, everything is a different station, each with a chef. Those plates are all mono-plated by the chef beforehand. So you can see what's there, but you cannot plate it yourself. So the guests are not touching all the spoons and stuff.
Right.
So that's one of the more important health and safety measures in place that people have been asking questions about, because a lot of people know all-inclusives have buffets and everyone's worried about the buffet. So do not worry, our buffet is very safe. And you can go online and see pictures of how it is and everything, because it's always kind of been that way. It's always been with a chef at each station, but now we just aren't allowing the guests to get their own food themselves.
Mm-hmm. And again, the staff is going over their training daily and weekly. You've got all the protocols in place.
Yeah.
And also, not only do you have your own regulations, but you are adhering to the local regulations as well. And that this is just a quick slide about the company that is overseeing and, you know, watching the whole process with respect to keeping everything clean for COVID.
They'll actually come in just before the opening date, the reopening date for each of the properties. They're coming in and doing a check to make sure that we are up to par. So if anything is not up to par, it has to be brought up to par before we open.
Right, right. And again, low density.
Our properties are, I mean, it is, Club Med's a little different than what some people might be used to. It's always been about the social aspect and the activities. And we don't have kind of the one big building that's 20 floors high with a pool in front of it. We have very spread out properties. Most of our properties don't have buildings over 3 floors high, and almost all the properties are all multiple buildings. It's meant to feel like a village, like a community. So the good thing about this during this time is that because the properties are so big and they're so spread out, there's so much room for social distancing. It makes it very easy. And we're also running our resorts at a bit of a lower occupancy. So instead of being able to sell out at 100%, we're only going up to maybe 65 or 70% occupancy, just to be sure.
Mm-hmm. And then here's a good look. And here's an example. We're taking a peek at your resort in Cancun compared to other resorts.
Yeah, so our Cancun property, we were actually one of the first hotels in Cancun. We helped build the airport. So because of that, we were able to choose the best spot. So we're at the beginning of the strip, just at the bottom of the strip. The strip goes like a 7 and we're at the bottom and we're on this peninsula. So we have that whole property, including the lagoon in the middle. And because of that lagoon, we offer free water skiing, which is awesome. But that whole piece of the property where those arrows are, that's all ours. So we actually have 3 separate beaches. So there's tons of space on the beach. We have 3 different pools. There's tons of space for social distancing.
Right, right.
Look at the other properties and they've got the one big hotel with a pool in front.
Oops, sorry.
They don't have much space for the social distancing, and they have way more rooms than we do too, and less space.
True. And this is all very timely and top of mind right now. Yes. Travel insurance.
Yeah, this is great. So we put this in place, I think about a month ago now. We're able to offer this included in the package. So you don't need to worry about purchasing this at an extra cost. It's already included in your Club Med package. For anyone traveling before April 30th, 2021, they'll receive this coverage from, it's called Europe Assistance. It's emergency medical expenses, which include COVID-19 coverage, which is, you know, highly coveted right now. Everyone's looking for it. It's hard to find. We have it. So what's covered? Healthcare expenses abroad, in case of hospitalization, in case of confinement, if scheduled flight is missed. There's more than this too. This is just kind of the main things, but if you go to the Club Med website, or I can send another piece of information to Lisa, she can send to you if you're interested in seeing it. It's a whole insurance policy. So we didn't put it all up here because it's a lot of writing, but it does cover quite a bit, and it's great peace of mind to have, especially at this time.
Absolutely. And also for those that are looking, but there's a bit of trepidation, you have cancellation options.
Mm-hmm. So you can receive a full refund on the land portion of your stay. So because we are a tour operator, but we package using regular scheduled air. So if you get a flight with us, we throw the transfer in and it makes it a package for you. But we don't own those air seats. We're purchasing them as regular scheduled air to package. So we do have to adhere to the terms and conditions of each airline. So we're able to offer this on land portion, receive a full refund on land portion of your stay up to 15 days prior to departure for any reason. And this is for new bookings that have been made after May 18th, 2020. And it's for any stay before July 2nd of next year. So you can cancel for any reason up to 15 days before. Now, something I want to add in there because it's not written on here, we do have an agreement with Air Canada, WestJet, and Transat. So if you have a package with any of those, your refund is actually on the land and the air. It's on the whole.
Okay, that's wonderful. And also for those in the US, there are, you make use of the US carriers as well.
Yeah, so for the US ones, it would be just what's written there. So just without the air portion. Now, our US office runs separate from our Canadian one, so they might have different policies in place, but they do have the free cancellation for 15 days prior departure as well.
Yes. And we're going to take a peek at some of the resorts. I mean, there are just so many resorts. I could go on forever, and they're just amazing. But in North America, we have got Punta Cana. There's so many. And this one I find very, very interesting because there was a lot of chatter with a friend of mine just yesterday, and Charlevoix. That's going to be amazing.
It'll be the first all-inclusive resort in Canada.
Yes.
And it is at a ski resort.
Yes.
Charlevoix, which is just about an hour from Quebec City. Mm-hmm. It's at the base of Le Massif Mountain. So it is prominently a ski resort, but we're going to have it open 4 seasons a year because there's so many other things to do in that area. And it's actually set at the base of Le Massif and on the bay of the St. Lawrence River. Mm-hmm. On the banks of, So there is so much to do there in the fall, in the summer, in the spring, so much stuff around there. So it will be open year round, but prominently it will be a ski resort. And it's opening in December 2021. But the sales are actually opening this November. Mm-hmm. So start making your bookings to travel in December 2021.
I know. And for the Canadians, it's so easy. Just getting over there. It's just a little bit past Quebec City.
And you know what? It's perfect timing too. For those that are still maybe not feeling comfortable about traveling outside of Canada, this is going to be a great option. Plus, for those in Ontario, even, it's not that far of a drive. You could drive. There's parking.
You can do it. It's doable.
Yeah.
And wow, I love this area.
Yeah, this property is amazing. It's about 10 minutes from the airport. Again, we were the first ones here in this area years ago, and we've done renovations multiple times on the property, and it's grown. This here is actually the adults only section, and then there's a whole other side of the resort as well. This is the Zen Oasis, which is for 18 and over. I
had not realized, and it didn't click when I was looking at it that it's the adults. Wow.
So that space has its own pool, its own bar, and its own concierge service as well.
Okay. And then here's a peek at the resort in Cancun.
Yep. So we've got that lagoon in the middle as well.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. And that's the parents' room. Excuse me. That's the parents' room in the 2-bedroom family suites in the Agua Marina family section.
Mm-hmm. And again, just to keep the slide number down. I didn't put in too many, but there are just so many amazing interior shots of what's available out there. Now this one is what, Florida?
Yeah, so this one's Sandpiper Bay in Florida, and it's not on the ocean. It's actually on the I don't know how to say it. It's in Port Lucie on the St. Lucie or the Port Lucie River. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a very large river. But this is our water sports and swimming area that's there.
Mm-hmm. And then what we have here is the Turks and Caicos.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite Club Med. This is we only have 2 adults only properties left. So way back in the day when Club Med first started, it was adults only, all of it. It was known for being like a big party place for adults only, and we've slowly changed over the years. We're much more family oriented now, but This property is still adults only. It's 18 and over. It's in Turks, and it's right on Grace Bay, which is this beautiful beach. And this one just sells like hotcakes because you can still get it. Like out of Toronto, you can get this for sometimes under $2,000 a person. And it's an all-inclusive, a 4 Trident all-inclusive in Turks and Caicos for adults. So it's a great spot. And that beach, you can't beat that beach. It's amazing.
No, they are known for their beaches. That's for sure. And now would this be the renderings of Charlevoix or something else?
This is the renderings of Charlevoix because Charlevoix is still under construction. So it is, I think, about halfway done now. But this is what it's going to look like when it's all finished.
Okay. Do you know how far it will be from the city center?
From Quebec City, it's about an hour.
Okay, so it's doable for a day trip.
Yeah. And I mean, you can get packages. So let's say you live downtown Toronto, you could get packages on Porter with flight and transfer if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. So a little further afield, I mean, we will get to the ski resorts, but there are resorts that operate in the summertime in Europe and Africa.
I actually went here last year. This property is incredible. It's a 5 Trident property, so it's part of our luxury brand. But even as I say luxury brand, don't be scared off and think, oh, I can't afford that. It's just the luxury brand within our brand. So it's not like it's so expensive that nobody can afford it. It's actually a decent price. This property is an hour outside of Palermo. And it's actually a bunch of these little buildings that you see here. There is one small main building with a lower room category, but these rooms, it's worth spending a little bit extra because this is its own building, one room, its own building. They're all facing the Mediterranean Sea up on a cliff. And it is, I stayed in one of these, ocean view, and I can't even explain how amazing it was. The food was incredible here. We do have a lot of buffet style restaurants, but we're very well known for our food. They're gourmet buffets. The buffet here was making handmade gnocchi. We had lobster. We had escargot. Like the food is really good. And yeah, it's close to Palermo, so it's not far to explore the area. It's beautiful.
And again, all inclusive.
All inclusive. Yeah.
And here we go. We have Peak at France and in the countryside, the Provence countryside.
Yeah, this one, I haven't been to this one, but I'd like to go. It's not oceanfront. It overlooks an olive grove. But it's Opio-en-Provence. It's about, I think, a half hour from Nice. And this has we have 2 partnerships with Cirque du Soleil called Creative, which is a full circus school, and it's included. So if you've got, kids or adults that are interested in doing circus stuff, this property and also our Punta Cana property have the full circus school. All of our other properties have trapeze though as well, which is also included.
Oh, wow. And wow, this one we were speaking about, this one is, it's on my short list.
It should be. This one I went to 2 years ago. I think almost 3 years ago now. This property is stunning. It looks just like this with these palm trees, and at nighttime they're all lit up. It's actually a great family property as well. And it's not oceanfront either. It's just outside of the main downtown area in Marrakesh, so right near the markets. And the other cool thing about this property, for kids, they have a barn at the back of the property. And they have horses and camels in the barn. And they actually take kids for little rides around the property on them for free. And then there's buses, shuttle buses that come and go from the front entrance that are included that take people into the souks, into the markets. So it's very easy to get around at this property. Tons of activities. The food is incredible. So good.
Yeah. I like the idea of kids on camels.
Yeah, it's very cute. You're sitting at the pool and you can just hear the camel walking by, and it's like 3 or 4 camels in a row with little kids on them. It's fun.
Yeah, if you've never done it, it's not quite like riding a horse. I did it in January. It was a lot of fun. It was quite an experience.
I did it in Marrakesh. We had a dinner in the desert, and we had a bunch of camels, and I almost got bucked off my camel. Very scary.
And you also have this ship.
Yeah, so we have something for everyone. The Club Med 2 is part of our exclusive collection, and it's a very intimate cruise experience. So it's a 5-masted sailing ship, and there's 200 crew members for 368 passengers. So And there's activities. The one thing that I will be very transparent about with this product, it's quite a French product. We have a very high repeat clientele out of France on this ship at the moment. It's starting to into a more international product. But if you don't speak any French, it might be harder to have the experience you want to have, because you won't maybe understand what's being said on the microphones. They're starting to change that though. So it is becoming more international with more English language happening on it. But it's an all-inclusive cruise experience. And because the ship is small, it goes into some different ports than the bigger ships.
Right.
This is the Mediterranean in the summer and the Caribbean in the winter.
Good to know. This looks amazing.
Yes, I would love to go to this one. This is in the Maldives. This one actually has a few different sections to it. So there's the on-land bungalows and then also the over-water bungalows. This property, you need to go onto the Club Med site and look at the pictures of this property. Those over-the-water bungalows, they each have their own pool. Some of them have a little bathtub by the window. They're stunning. It's absolutely amazing.
I can well imagine. Maybe I should check it out.
Maybe.
And coming this year, coming to the Seychelles.
Yeah, we have our own private island that we're building a property on. It's opening this year. It's going to be a family product. But when I say family product, a lot of people that don't have families or don't want to travel with children get scared off by that. But we are a family brand. However, a lot of our properties do have adults only spaces in them as well. So it's not like it's all about families all the time. There's different sections and there's really something for everyone. This property, I cannot wait to see the final pictures of this one. Look how beautiful that looks.
I know it does look beautiful. It does. Look at that beach.
Amazing.
Skiing.
Yeah. So we have over 18 in the French Alps between Italy, Switzerland, and France. Most of them are in France. We also have ski in China and Japan, and obviously soon in Quebec. All of our ski is all inclusive as well. So when you buy a ski package, you're getting your flight, your transfer, your hotel, your food and beverage, just like you would at the Caribbean ones. There's kids clubs, there's entertainment in the evening. It's really just like being at an all-inclusive in the Caribbean, except you're in the mountains skiing. And the other thing is that your ski pass and your ski lessons are actually included in your package price.
Right, and also lessons for the children, so that mom and dad can go hit the slopes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind with that, with the kids' lessons, make sure that you're going, like, let's say you have children and you want them to have lessons.
Yes.
You have to send them to a resort that has a kids club of their age group in order for them to get the free lessons. If you send them to one of our resorts that's family friendly but doesn't have any kids clubs, their lessons will have an extra cost to them. So just be careful with that.
Right, right. So that's something that when someone approaches their agent, they would have them check that out. They'd have them vet that for them. If they wanted the children to have their own lessons so that mom and dad could hit the slopes on their own.
The other thing that's included that isn't really talked about much is a free guide. When you get there, you actually sign up to your ability level. So beginner, advanced, intermediate. And then each day, if you want, you don't have to, but each day you're welcome to ski with a guide, with a group of people each day. It's the same group each day at your same level in your same kind of age group, because this is the Alps. This is not like Blue Mountain in Ontario. This is the Alps. It's huge. There's tons of runs. Sometimes you have access to more than one domain, meaning you can go down one hill and up another mountain. These guides will take you in places that you wouldn't be able to find by yourself. And it's
amazing.
Inclusive.
Amazing. Oh.
Yeah, this is just to give you an idea. This one I actually went to last summer. It's one of our ones, which we'll talk about in a minute, that stays open in the summertime. And it's a newer one. I think it opened 2 years ago. And it's kind of halfway up the mountain. And there's a gondola right beside it that goes down into the town. And access to the gondola is included in your package. So let's say you're going skiing with your family, but maybe you don't ski and the rest of your family does. There's still tons of stuff for you to do at the ski resorts. There's activities on site. Plus at this one, you've got access to the gondola. You can go shopping in town if you want to.
That would be me.
Yeah.
I would be on the gondola or taking lessons, one or the other. I'm not a skier. I'd love to ski, but.
Or maybe at the spa or that indoor pool.
Oh, yeah. And I was saying earlier, Club Med has been social distancing before it became popular. I love that
Yeah,
restaurant.
yeah, that's a beautiful resort. It really is.
Yeah. And then this one is what? It's a resort that Club Med has recently acquired and is
It was ours.
renovating.
It was ours already.
Okay.
We've been around for so long. Some of our properties, they were in need of renovations. So this was
Okay.
one of. We closed it last year for almost the entire year and did extensive renovations. More rooms, renovated everything. So this is La Rosier in France, and this is actually reopening this December with all its new renovations.
Hmm. And that would be a look at a renovated room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Summer Mountain. So, and this again applies to the properties in Europe.
Yes, our Summer Mountain, and it will apply to the Quebec one as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Summer Mountain is, I think, so far my favorite experience with Club Med. I got to go to the Grand Massif ski resort in the summer last year to experience the Summer Mountain. So what Summer Mountain is, some of our resorts, and there's a list after this, some of our resorts in ski stay open. Actually, the one in Japan does too. They reopen in the summer for a couple of months for a Summer Mountain experience. So instead of ski or snowboarding being included, we're going to include the hiking and the mountain biking along with the equipment, so the hiking poles and the ski bike, along with a guide as well for mountain biking or hiking if you require, or you can explore on your own if you want to as well. But this experience was just incredible. Like, I was there for work, so I took a group of travel agents to show it to them so they could experience it. But this is something that I wanted to do this summer. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. Maybe next summer. I wanted to do this with my boyfriend as a vacation because Europe, as we all know, is very expensive to do a vacation, especially with a family. It gets up there once you start putting in like the food costs, renting a car, different hotels, anything you want to do, you're paying for everything out of pocket in euros while you're there. The great thing with Club Med is that you pay beforehand for your package all-inclusive price, and then you arrive there, and the only extras you're going to pay for are if you want to leave property and go shopping or do an excursion. Otherwise, everything's already been included, so you're not taking your wallet out and paying euros. The worst thing of a European vacation is coming home and looking at your credit card statement, right?
Yeah.
So there's all these resorts that do stay open. Some of the great things are like at Grand Massif, we have that gondola. We got to go into this sleepy little mountain town called Samoans. We could go shopping. We could go hiking. There was a big river around the bottom of the mountain, so we hiked around that. The buffet, the restaurant has paper boxes and paper bags, so you can go in and take food, pack a lunch to go on a hike, and it's all included.
That's
so
wonderful.
Clubs too. I mean, if mom and dad want to go for a hike, but maybe the kids are too young for that, you can put them in the kids club and explore the area. So there's so much to do. You can use the hotel as your home base. There's still an excursions desk. If you want to go explore the area, you could still rent a car and go off for the day or do whatever you want. It's very near to Annecy, France, which is like the Venice of France, and Chamonix. Yeah.
Yeah. And the latest offers. Now, so this would be in Canadian here.
Yeah, so anything that you see advertised in Canada is always in Canadian pricing because we have a US office that advertises to the US. So this is in Canadian pricing starting from $15.99 per person per week based on double occupancy. And this is for our North American region, so our Caribbean, Mexico, and US hotels. So this is a great price. Mm-hmm. That's incredible. That's your all-inclusive vacation for a week. It's amazing.
That is. Especially these days, now that it includes not only COVID coverage, but your travel insurance.
Yeah.
Because those are two separate items. And you have the early booking rates.
Yeah, early booking rates are in place until November 3rd. So you have to book before November 3rd. With Club Med, our properties are quite small. I know that I talked about how big they are, but the amount of rooms is that they're more like boutique hotels. I think our biggest property is Punta Cana with like 600 or 700 rooms. Like most of our hotels have maybe 300 or 400 rooms. So they sell out quick. So best pricing is always going to be further in advance. So we've got these great early booking rates for you.
Okay. And that would be about it. lot.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. I think right now I'm really looking forward to the Quebec property opening up. I mean, that's going to be amazing because it's something I can get to very quickly from Toronto.
Yeah, and our ski product actually was, I should mention, the ski product in the Alps and in Asia is a 7-day stay. It's a Sunday to Sunday only. So you can do 7, 14, 21, but it goes in 7-day increments, Sunday to Sunday only. That's the way that our inventory is set up. But the Quebec one, we are going to allow short stays. So for those of us in Ontario or even in Quebec, you can go for the weekend if you want to.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'll be great. That'll be great. Because I know how beautiful Quebec City is in the winter. I've been there, and I can only imagine what it's like on the slopes for the people who actually do ski. Not like myself. I'm across country.
The area there is beautiful. Like as soon as you start getting close to Charlevoix, even on the road, it starts to look like Europe. You'll see like some cliffs and waterfalls and stuff. It's a stunning area. We went in the fall a couple of years ago with work just to see the site before the build started. And with all the different, there's mountains and valleys and all the different colors of leaves. It's beautiful.
Okay. Well, I don't want to keep you much longer. I want to thank you so much, Janet, for joining me. And if anyone has any questions, fire them off my way. And if I can't answer them, I'll certainly reach out to Janet and get back to you. And I want to thank you once again for joining me. And
thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. Have a lovely weekend.
Bye, you too. Thanks, everyone.